what are we, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are cool, choose our round and proud. No one's gonna stop us, we are here to stay. We are the cool, choose of the rainbow flag. We are moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. We are moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. We keep fighting, fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. We keep fighting, fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. LGBTI, we are freedom fighters. Hey everybody, welcome to this Victim Casa Show updates on Block 13 in Kakuma, the situation of LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma Camp, with special focus on Block 13, where we still receive reports of attacks. We have special updates today, and also we will be featuring the trans women at the camp, telling us their stories, their plight, their testimonies. So you stay right here with us, and I ask you, as we listen to this song, I ask you to invite your friends, your networks. Just bring everybody on board so that we put efforts together to save humanity on Block 13. Thank you. Fighting for the we are freedom fighters, fighting for the rise of the children of the rainbow flag. What are we fighting for? Fighting for our lives. What are we fighting for? Fighting for our lives. Tell me what we're fighting for. Fighting for our lives. Fighting for our rights to be LGBTI. We are here to stay. Oh, LGBTI. We are here to stay. Oh, LGBTI. We are here to stay. Oh, never going anywhere. Children of the rainbow flag. We are proud to be. Yes, the children of the rainbow flag. We are proud to be. Yeah, children of the rainbow flag. We are proud to be the children of the rainbow flag. LGBTI. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are cool, choose around and proud. No one's gonna stop us, we are here to stay. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. We are moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. Oh, we keep on fighting, 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 fighting. We keep on fighting, fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sticking around. I welcome you once again to the Victor Mukasa Show. And again, this is an update show on the situation of LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma camp following constant, brutal, and violent attacks on LGBTQ lives on Block 13 in Kakuma camp. For those of you who don't know, this campaign has been ongoing, but this last big campaign started on June 19 following very violent attacks on our friends on Block 13 in Kakuma camp, reportedly by Sudanese nationals, refugees themselves at the camp. I see you, Alia Malaika, and I greet you. During those attacks, we had over 30 people injured, and all those people are still recovering at the camp. But that was not enough. After the attacks on June 19th, we have seen more attacks happening. We have seen more women being sexually assaulted at the camp. We've seen more beatings, attacks in the nights. And I think that even about 2 days ago, we had somebody intruding the camp. But that said, we called to you all to join the campaign to urge the UNHCR and all those concerned to evacuate these refugees from Block 13. Now remember, these brutal attacks, this really, really violent attack happened on June 19th. But we know that even in April, when LGBTQ refugees went to the UNHCR to seek protection from similar attacks, the UNHCR actually sent them away, asking the police, using the police that used tear gas and live ammunition in the air to disperse them. It was then in April that they were transferred from the reception of the UNHCR in Kakuma camp to the compound where they were dumped on Block 13. We have seen the UNHCR dumping more people at Block 13, even after outcries and our raising attention to the fact that there are violent attacks on Block 13. We saw UNHCR about a month ago, I think, dropping between 8 to 10 people, 8 to 11 people on the same block under attack. The UNHCR saying those claims from they're calling them claims from the small group of people on Block 13, that is about 138 people, are actually exaggerated. The UNHCR tried to water them down, and supported by its agents, who are also human rights organizations. Now, we call upon your support, and I would like to report that we have more organizations on board now, which is very good. We have a lot of networks, human rights defenders, young and old people involved in this, and I thank all of you on behalf of our friends in Kakuma for the good job that you have done. We encourage you to continue doing that, because as we'll hear from the updates today, some things are beginning to happen. We also thank those, because while we are still at Block 13, we are sick. We are still suffering from the injuries, and we are hungry. And as children, between 3 days old, we have a new baby at Block 13. Between 3 days old and probably 10 years old, we still are traumatized. We still need an education. We still need to play. So some of you have contributed financially and continue to contribute financially to ensuring that the people at Block 13 before evacuation can eat. Some of them have gotten blankets, and we are still buying blankets. We have had people go to hospital, including today. Some people have gone to hospital. Almost every few days, we have a group of people being taken to the hospital for treatment. Kakuma Mission Hospital, where they are treated with dignity. where they are not really judged based on their sexual orientation and gender identity, sometimes just perceived. Um, we have been able to buy toys for the children. The children can play now. There's some funds that have come into the camp. Kids have books, exercise books. We have people who are volunteering to teach these children. We on ED Day we slaughtered 2 goats, just to change, just to have a change in what we eat at the camp. And I thank all of you who have contributed to this. We are trying to get temporary latrines because the latrine that they're using is actually causing them illness because it is full. That stuff that we put in latrines, the excreta, is filling up, and yet it is the same latrine that is their shower. They're in a camp where they are taken care of. But we've had some new developments at the camp, and we are going to hear about those today. I'd like to also send out a special thank you to the group of first responders, the therapists from the UK, from Canada, and from Australia, who are doing a great job offering pro bono counseling services to the refugees on Block 13. To you guys on Block 13, you are the reason that we are speaking out today. You have been brave, and you are beautiful people, and you are all brave people. But even if you're brave, it does not mean that you keep subjected to the violence that you're facing. I would like to tell you all that we love you. I and a lot of people that I work with, and even those that are working in their own networks for your liberation, that we love you, and we will continue working to see that you are evacuated from that camp. Human rights organizations that have joined the battle, thank you so much. Our friends in Kakuma, I hope that you are ready. I'm going to bring you on. We have 2 people coming from Kakuma, or 2 groups of people that will be speaking from Kakuma. We will have the updates, general updates from those who usually speak on behalf of the camp in Kakuma. We'll also have trans women in that camp narrating their stories, telling us about how life is for trans women on Block 13 amidst all these attacks, and how they have been victims based on their gender identity and presentation. So over to you guys on Block 13. I would like to welcome you, send in your request. And the other group of people I want to send a shout out to is the media. We thank you for amplifying the voice of LGBTQ plus people in Kakuma camp, and in particular Block 13. We see you. Thank you very much. Here we have, yes guys, wonderful. Yes, Gilbert.
Hello, Victor.
Good to see you again. Alive.
How are you doing? Yeah, I'm still alive.
I'm surviving. I'm not doing so well the last 2 days, but I am surviving.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Well,
thanks for.
We're also still surviving.
Yes, how
here down in Kakuma.
There? How are things? I understand that there's some new there.
Yeah, there have been a few developments here. Let me begin with the positive, because we rarely have this kind of development.
Wonderful.
After almost nearly 2 months, since the major attack of the 19th of June, guess what? Police is investigating.
Police,
we don't know why
Kakuma,
the sudden interest, but it's investigating. From the 3rd of August, they were recording statements of the victims.
Of the June 19th?
I know of the June 19th. Actually, most of the documents they were issuing, like the P3 forms, were even backdated.
Connection in Kakuma is not good, but we will get them back. As you have heard, the police has started investigating. You guys are doing an amazing job. The police has started investigating, you have heard, since the 3rd of August. And they are investigating the attacks that took place on June 19. Please, Kakuma, come back. On June 19. That's what they're investigating. And Gilbert is saying on behalf of the rest that this is positive, and we would like to hear more about that process. Before Gilbert was disconnected, he said that they're giving them P3 forms, which we would like to understand what that is. But also, we are meant to understand that even if these investigations started only on the 3rd of August, some of those forms are being backdated. So you know where we're going. Kakuma, we still need you here. They're being backdated, meaning that if you were attacked, I'm just giving an example. It means that if you were attacked on June 19th, your hand was broken, your arm was broken, the police will not say that that they're not giving you a form that is dated August 3rd, but rather they'll give you a form that is backdated. They are back. Yes, that is.
Hello, Victor.
Can you ask the guys to give you quiet space?
I don't know what happened, but
You were telling us
probably it's the
about
network.
we do not know what the P3 forms are, and also that they are backdated.
Well, these are forms that police give you to take the medical doctor, so the doctor can give them their professional opinion of the kind of injuries that you sustained.
Gotcha.
After a long struggle, after making a lot of noise, somehow they think that now it's necessary. Given what we have seen and the kind of silence that has been, handed out to us, we have all the people who have raised their voices on our behalf to thank. Even this little change that we are seeing, it surely must be from the huge outcry that has come out as a result of what has happened in Kakuma. So we thank everyone who has raised their voices in our behalf. Some of these things are unheard of. You see, the police is now investigating. Initially, they were quiet about the whole thing. But now that they're investigating, that is an improvement. That is an improvement.
Yes.
But you see, it still not is an answer to the problem. The level of homophobia and transphobia in Kakuma, it means you're going to have to arrest almost the entire place, to deal with this effectively.
Yes.
You have to arrest the entire area to effectively stop homophobia and transphobia. While we applaud the fact that police has agreed that we were attacked and start investigating, we know that they know the solution to the problem.
Is the UNHCR involved in this investigation?
I can reliably tell you yes.
Okay.
I'm reliably informed that they sanctioned the investigation. That's why we have always said that the answer to our problem lies with the UNHCR.
Yes.
It does lie with the UNHCR. They sanctioned the investigation. We are grateful. but we're not interested in another report. We're interested in real action to save lives, because reports don't save lives. Just to give you a hint, a few days back, an intruder walked into Block 13. And he was looking for us. Somehow, he came to, embarrass us, degrade us. Are you people on the market? Are you selling yourselves? He inquired.
That's
When
another.
we sarcastically replied, I beg your pardon?
That's another refugee.
This intruder, pardon?
Was that a refugee?
Yes, he was a refugee of South Sudanese descent. Well, he walked into Block 13 to embarrass us, because we have become, that's what we have been reduced to. And he was asking us if we are actually selling ourselves. He wanted to buy one of us. And guess what? We needed to call police and wait for them to come and apprehend him.
There? When HCR says the police is there.
Exactly. Just like the many things UNHCR says they have done. Police was not here. We called them to come and apprehend the intruder. And it took them a while to come, actually, and do the apprehension. So it's just as good as writing a report and explain that these people were attacked by so and so and so and so. That's not a solution. You still have not dealt with the reason for the attack.
Yeah.
You've only showed people that these people were attacked by this individual or that group of individuals. But you have not dealt with why they were attacked. The solution is...
They need to get out of there.
Absolutely. You see, Kakuma has one way of getting rid of LGBTI. Attack them until they are taken away. It's unrelenting.
But Gilbert, I have a question for you. How do you feel about this process? Because the investigation sanctioned by the UNHCR started on the 3rd of August. But a week or so ago, the same police that is investigating actually summoned some of the leadership, some of you guys, and threatened you and warned you about your advocacy, and actually alleged so many false things against your character, against the claims of the people from Block 13. I remember very clearly that they said that the police said that you are injecting yourselves with something numbing that helps cut yourself. They also claim that you are coercing people your group. The question is, how do you feel about police, first of all, who are also part of the perpetrators, because we have reports of people who have been sexually assaulted by men, who have sexual intercourse before policemen for their entertainment. We have the police refusing to come to your rescue. Now we have the police claiming that these reports are true, that you have just injected yourself and numbed yourselves and cut yourselves up. And now the police is investigating. The police is investigating cases, and you telling me that they are in fact backdating some of the reports. How does it make you feel? Do you feel that this is a fair process? A process that is actually doing justice to you?
Absolutely not. You see, thank you for highlighting the irony. It's very ironic that the same force that says nothing is happening now all of a sudden is interested in finding out what is happening. Now you wonder, the accusation that this was not true Is that an admission that it was premature? Because that's what I would want to ask them. Because if you come there and say, this is not true, and then tomorrow you're saying, okay, now I want to know, let's look for the perpetrators. So does it mean they are initial?
Because then you're also having some ridiculous and pathetic reports on Facebook from so-called human rights networks, refugee human rights networks, saying that they have proof that these people, you guys on Block 13, are telling lies, and that very soon you're going to be investigated, you're going to go to jail. And this report comes in before the police calls you to investigate.
You see, we don't have a good feeling about the investigation. Frankly, Victor, and everybody listening, if this investigation was done in good faith, it would have happened a long time ago. It would have been done a long time ago, because the police literally had to shoot bullets to disperse attackers on that day.
And the police is now investigating.
You see the irony now. They ferried the injured to the hospital. They themselves. Now they are investigating 2 months down the road, after their friends in those organizations that make money off our blood have claimed we are going to investigate the refugees and lock them up.
You know what this reminds me of? But it reminds me of a victim of domestic abuse, a woman or a man that is being beaten badly by their partner. And then when they report to the police does nothing. They continue being beaten. But at some point, the police says, come and give a statement. In fact, we are beginning to believe you, but go back to that house as we investigate. Go back to where you're being beaten up from. So the police actually, you attend them that the attacks are continuing. And all they do is investigate and still sending you back to then after back. You have faced threats of attack.
Absolutely. The fact that we are still in the same place we were attacked goes a long way to show you the level of effort they are willing to put in. Because investigations have been done before, but the solution is right in their eyes. They know what to do. But as you've put it, you know, I call it being dutiful. On the outside, you look like you're busy. I think that's what they're doing. You see, the outcry has become a lot. I'm actually very disappointed with human rights organizations, especially the ones in Africa, the ones that know the kind of conditions that we live in, because those ones outside Europe might not fully understand the set of circumstances that we go through. But the ones in Africa, it's a big embarrassment. I actually don't understand what they stand for. It's a big shame on them. Now, our friends in Europe, after having posted that we are going to be investigated and locked up, well, an investigation has started, Victor. Don't be surprised if the victims are also locked up before they arrest the perpetrators. I don't think it will shock anybody.
Because
as far as we're...
And you came back, you have reported the perpetrators, they're on all footage that is going around, but they sent you back to the same space as the perpetrators.
Absolutely. These are people from the camp. And nobody has said anything or done an arrest or even said, we are on the trail. Now they have called us to investigate. So how can we believe that this is an investigation done out of good faith? You see, the humane thing would have been first get people out of trouble, then carry out your investigation.
Exactly.
Because it's not that we're in Kakuma for the first time. How do you rescue a group in 2018 and then condemn another one in 2020. It doesn't make sense. And to understand that some of these things are deliberately done just to make some sort of a response to the outcry. UNHCR has been holding meetings, for example. When I hear a number of stakeholders, who is a stakeholder in our suffering? You tell me, Victor. How do you become a stakeholder in our suffering and we're not involved? Do they buy stakes? Do they buy some holding in our suffering? All these meetings they have held about our situation, we've not been involved. No wonder it has been very convenient for them to report that we are well, that we live in utopia, when in actual sense, we are still condemned. We are still abandoned to our tormentors. How can we believe that this is an investigation meant to solve the problem? And with all these attacks that have happened before, even before we came, what have they investigated? And what have they learned from that? Because for me, that would be a starting point. We had an attack in this year, we had an attack in this year, and this is what we have learned.
They had attacks.
What have they learned?
2014.
Absolutely. 2018, 2019, what have they learned? Because if we continue to get attacked, it means they have learned nothing. So how is this investigation going to change that? So I don't think it's a problem of investigation. For me, I think it's lack of the willingness to act. It's a deliberate effort not to act. Because given all these past incidents, all these precedents, what have they taught? What can be the one lesson that they can share with the world that after all these years of attacks on LGBTI, this is our lesson? That would show the whole sense of investigations. Not to just put reports and make Facebook posts as a way of answering our pain. That doesn't answer our pain. Even if they did research for 10 years, as long as we're here, it doesn't solve the problem. The problem is not lack of reports. The problem is lack of action. I know they will say we're investigating to take action. Yes, the homophobia that is rooted within the community. That's something that is not being tackled. And for me, that's the whole cause of everything. So I hope this investigation will actually show the world how deeply rooted homophobia is in Kakuma. But that does not answer the outcry.
And that it is not taking weeks.
Victor, frankly, whether they want to take weeks or months,
if they fail to,
we are not waiting for the report.
Yeah, I think that the report from this so-called investigation, already the police, I think that they have the answer.
They have the answers.
Yes.
They have long held these answers. This is not an issue of 2020. Surely, they have long had the answers with them. So they know what is happening. And the people who are doing attacks are not from outside. You see, Kakuma is a protected area with a lot of, military blockades. So it's within and has been within for many years. How can you not know? And you're in charge. And the fact that people associated with those organizations that are sucking blood out of our lives said exactly the same things you find in police, kind of betrays the spirit in which this is being done. It belies the good-naturedness of the investigation. That's why it doesn't make sense. All those reports will not make a difference. How many Facebook posts has UNHCR done? Has that stopped the attacks? Absolutely not.
It has given power
Just
to
like
the attackers.
Absolutely. They know we are up there for the taking. When they brought us back to Block 13, They told us that was a short-term solution. Does that look like a solution to anybody who has been following this? They are yet to give a solution. Even what they call a solution is compounding the problem. They have just compounded the problem. Let's face the facts, Victor. Yes, UNHCR knows what to do, because this is not the first problem of its kind. It's not peculiar. They have seen this happen before. And it's their lack of willingness to act that is leading them to be diversional, as Purity calls it. They divert from the actual issue into irrelevance. Facebook posts, what? Those are not action. That's talking. This is a body that is well funded. Forget this speculation you've had that they are underfunded. I don't believe that. And a problem in Kakuma, they are hugely funded, yes. And the problem in Block 13 does not need a lot of funding. Do you need a lot of funding to take people from outside, sleeping on the open ground, into a protected place? How much kind of funding would you need? That's what I'm saying. They are dealing with non-issues. The issues are right in front of them. They know the solution, and all they resort to is writing fancy reports. They can never work. And the level of intimidation that is being directed at us is worrying. Because I've had, I think, 2 attempts on my life, actually. I'm going to be open with you. 2 attempts. The latest coming on the 23rd of July. Just recently. All this for what? For how long can you keep people subjected to this kind of life? We don't know how this is going to end. But unless the attitude is changed, unless UNHCR thinks of actually acting and not explaining, we are going to lose lives. And now the threat is no longer the homophobes, but also the ones that are trying to silence us. Actually, they pose a bigger danger than the homophobes. Because the homophobes don't care who you are. As long as you're queer, they will attack. But this is targeted attack. And that's more dangerous. It's very, very dangerous.
Thank you, Gilbert. Gilbert, I have
Block
one.
13, please go on.
How are people recovering from the injuries? Because
Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Well, Victor, the truth of the matter is that despite the noble efforts from the well-wishers who have funded and who have afforded us some fairly decent treatment that can be afforded in Kakuma, there is still a long way to go. There are people who cannot recover simply due to lack of facilities in Kakuma. Some, the condition is deteriorating. We have a refugee here who is dying bit by bit. He's getting paralyzed bit by bit. We have others who have post-traumatic syndrome. People who begin to lose.
I saw another one who had a crack on their skull, but can only be treated in Nairobi or outside, but away from Kabul. And to that, they haven't gotten that.
There are a lot of individuals here who cannot recover despite the availability of funds, simply because we don't have facilities in Kakuma. And despite sanctioning an investigation, these have been abandoned. That's why we doubt the good-naturedness of the investigation. You have people dying, people who need urgent medical attention, and you're not doing anything about it. And instead, you're asking for an investigation. This should have supplemented sincere efforts to help, practical, visible efforts to help. Without those, without practical intervention, from UNHCR, all this is meaningless. It's politics, where people talk and talk and talk and talk. You don't talk about lives. You act when it comes to lives. Politics does not save lives. And this is something that they need to consider very seriously. The patients that we have here that are not going to recover because of being in Kakuma are very many. And the list is growing by the day because of the conditions that we're subjected to. And nobody is bothered. And nobody is bothered by that. You've seen John Bosco.
I've seen John Bosco, and I'm very worried about John Bosco because I see him more paralyzed every time that I look at him. I look at some of the people with those cracked heads. I look at those X-rays that I'm not even a doctor, but I can see these things, and I'm wondering how their skulls are doing now. I'm seeing people that have never walked again on with their two legs. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm seeing crazy people. I'm getting reports of people that commit suicide. You know.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that children wake up in the night screaming, thinking the attack is happening because they're traumatized.
Absolutely.
And the UNHCR still does not see this as an urgent situation.
The urgent situation for them is getting a report that would have been due months back. You get the irony. That's why it doesn't make sense for us. Unless UNHCR acts sensibly and acts decisively, all these lives are going to perish. And they'll perish right here in Block 13. Some people might not be saved.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And so Gilbert, and with this update, please make the calls that you still need people. What do you want people? Do you want people to continue doing what they have been doing? And also for our GoFundMe page that is supporting people in Kakuma. Should people continue supporting in all ways that, like make that call to the listeners and all those who will listen later?
Thank you so much, Victor. Yes, I have two calls to make. The first is about advocacy. And this goes out to human rights organizations. You see, we have the victors, but these are individuals. They are being silenced. They are being threatened with legal suits.
Threatened by human rights code defenders.
Yes. Human rights defenders, presumably, are threatening individuals that are coming out to speak the truth. We need human rights organizations to come out and be counted among the brave and stop cowering. We need a lot of advocacy. The outcry has caused a slight movement. Even that investigation is maybe a step in the right direction. And we have you people out there to thank. If you keep it up, probably real action will be taken. Something that we long for, that was long overdue. And finally, to our listeners and viewers, yes, as UNHCR takes its time to decide whether to save our lives or abandon us to the homophobes, we still need to survive. We appreciate everything that you can spare. You can visit the GoFundMe page that Victor has created. We shall share a link before the live is done. It will still go a long way to helping. Even though we can't get the best medical help in Kakuma, the available help still sustains the situation. It's better than not having any medical attention. We have lost trust in the clinics around because they think being queer is a mental disorder, for example. You see, for a doctor to treat you, they must believe you're actually ailing, which has not been the case. Somebody walks past you for the entire day until evening and says, now I'm done, I can't work on you. And you came in the morning. So these kinds of situations led us into a private hospital. And we need some funding to sustain that. But also we need to eat. and we need a few basics, because usually when there is an attack, they loot most of our things. So please continue to sustain us.
Thank you so much, Gilbert, and thank you for the great work you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing with the media. We hear the reports, and I just encourage you to keep standing. We will get there. And today we are going to feature the trans women over there at the camp. Thank you for taking care of them. They tell us that the guys are really protecting them. So if you could help
You're
me
welcome.
paired, I will call them shortly in about 3 minutes for them to speak. Yes, friends, you have heard from Gilbert. That's Gilbert is the official spokesperson for the group on Block 13 in Kakuma. Gilbert has done a great, amazing job on behalf of his colleagues. And we have the leadership in Kakuma. One day I'll bring them here so that you meet all the leadership in Kakuma, advocacy, media, and finance, so that you get to meet them. These guys work as a team. These guys are better than what they have been portrayed as. You know, they've been portrayed as useless. They've been portrayed as fools, you know, dumb, like they're stupid. But recently, we have encouraged them, and they're getting empowered by you all. They're organizing. They have leaders. We will not speak for them in the press. They speak for themselves. They organize for themselves. They call for the protests. They call for all the things that we are calling for. And I encourage you all to keep looking at them that way. That is the real people on Block 13. They have brains, even if they have been silenced for a long time. Now, Joseph Ross, I know that you also from Washington, D.C., you actually did a very good article on your blog about the situation in Kakuma, and we thank you so much for what you do. You just asked if you could now start reaching out to Amnesty International, other human rights organizations like Human Rights Watch. Yes, we have reached out to them, but all of you people here, if you could just get down on your computer or phone and write to these organizations, you are their donors. You're the ones who have given them what to do. They exist because of suffering humans. Write to them. Write to them and ask them what they're doing about these situations. You know, some of them are already acting. But please, write to these human rights organizations and ask them. Or if they don't know, let them know about what is happening in Kakuma, because this is why human rights defenders are called to defend humanity. So yes, Joseph Ross, please let us push human rights organizations, friends' rights to diplomatic missions of resettling countries like the Scandinavians, Canada, other parts of Europe, the Dutch, right to the US, right to Canada, right to Kenyan high commissioners in your countries, ambassadors, and let them know about what is happening. Right to the press, those who need the reports that we have, the human rights violations compilation from Block 13, send me your email address. I'll share those reports with you. We have a medical report from an independent medical report from a doctor in Vancouver who is working with the treating doctor in Kakuma, working with people virtually every day. One may ask, why Vancouver? You know, outside there, we are all getting treatment virtually these days. And this doctor is able to look at injuries and, assess people on top of them going to Kakuma Mission Hospital. So if you want to get a hold of that report, please reach out to me. We have another report from a therapist, first responder again, who started with the people in Kakuma earlier on in June. Please still reach out and let us see how to proceed with these things. You can use them as your evidence when you write to these organizations, to these governments, and to the UNHCR, to Kenya Human Rights Commission. It all works. So coming up next, trans women in the camp. I'd like you to meet them. We have had all people in the camp speak out. We have specialized testimonies from lesbians and other queer women on Block 13. And today I'd like you to meet the trans women that we have in the camp. If any of you, if you guys know organizations that should be reached out to, write them in the comment section. We have Amnesty International, we have Human Rights Watch, we have Igor what is the Rainbow Outright Action International, the former International Gay and Lesbian Human Rights Commission. We have a GAL in Canada. We have the Coalition of African Lesbians in South Africa. We have Pan-African ILGA in South Africa. We have a lot of organizations that we should write to, regional and international organizations that have the muscle and privilege to serve. I think you should write to them, and if you know of any organizations, please write them there. We have human rights defenders being threatened, like Gilbert and others. I'm being threatened, but I'm in a good place. And even in Nairobi, we have refugee human rights defenders being threatened by government, but also by other human rights. I don't know what the story is, but it is unfortunate that we have seen some human rights organizations and individuals threatening people. And so you write to groups like Frontline Defenders in Dublin for their support. There's torture. There's torture in Kakuma. I write to OMCT, the World Organization Against Torture, and see that all these organizations come on board. Kakuma, please, trans women, I think, Benon, are you hosting them? Friends in Kakuma, my darlings, Claire, Nina, Benon, send your request again to ensure that we have our friends join us. Yeah. Hello. Mugamba
Hello.
Nachala.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes, not that fine, but just feeling happy with seeing your face on this live.
Well, I'm also happy to see you.
Yeah. This is John Lucretia.
Yes, Lucretia.
Yes, probably, and nice to meet you here today.
Nice to see you too. You look beautiful.
Yeah.
There. Very strong.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Victor. Hope I can pass on the camera and you can see all of them around.
Oh, these are all the trans women at the camp?
Yeah.
Yes, hi. How are you doing?
Hey, Victor, I'm Nina.
Oh, Nina, I see you.
How are you? Hey, Victor, I'm Jasmine.
Oh, Jasmine, good to see you too. Seeing the face is amazing. Hola.
How are you?
I'm very okay. How are you doing?
Oh, Victor.
Trinidad the Great.
Yeah.
See you.
How's it doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yes, hello, Victor.
Yes, hi. So good to see you.
How is life? Yeah,
Life.
I'm Riela,
Who is
and I'm 20 years. Riela.
Rihanna? Pleased to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Good to see you smiling.
Okay. Hi, Victor.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, my name is Morinda.
Moringa, you all look beautiful.
Yeah. You remember yesterday, people beat me from a market, Sudanese.
They beat you from the market.
Yes, I'm getting a small injury, but not go to police because police always is confusing me.
I'm so sorry, Moringa.
So now I'm very bad.
Moringa, where are you from?
I'm from Rwanda.
You're from Rwanda. I'm so happy
Yes.
you, but we are going to be listening to all of you uh, in Kakuma Camp Block 13 of
Yes. I'm
violation.
here.
And feel free to speak in that you feel comfortable in. Somebody can interpret for you. So just feel free to use whatever language that you're with. Trinidad,
Yeah,
if people are not comfortable with English, let them speak their language. If somebody can interpret for them, so that
so all right.
so
I
that they
wanna try that so that
so that they can. Okay.
yeah, we shall translate.
All right, thank you. So the mic is yours, darlings, from the.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
So what's happening there, and what has the experience of a trans woman been in Block 13 since you got there?
Yeah. First of all, I wanna appreciate you for giving us this platform this evening here at Block 13 Kakuma. But then, like we always say, if gay life, bisexual life, lesbian life is so difficult, and what about that life of a transgender? Because transphobia here is really too much. The reality is, if a gay can walk 100 meters from here, a transgender can't even walk 10 steps outside the house. Because most of these people you're seeing here, these beautiful ladies you have seen here, always have to keep indoors or keep just right next to their doorsteps.
Hmm.
Let me say, actually, we are the triggers. Like if anyone look at us wearing our dresses, then that's a problem. And then they start mocking us. They start attempting to make sure that they can come and attack us. So transgender life in Kakuma has never been good, and I don't think it will ever be good because as per the mindset of the community we are in, they look at it as if it's funny, it's awkward, it's ridiculous for us to show the women in us. It takes us a lot of strength and struggle to show them that we women, because when you look at me, when you look at everyone here, we are not women to them. Always assist, you're men. That's
Yeah.
the reason as why they want to attack us. But this is how we are created, and this is what we are. We are those proud women here at Block 13 in Kakuma. And that's the mostly that's the worst thing they want to hear. Be the UNHCR officials, be the police officials, be the local communities around. They just look at you, oh gosh, expect trouble.
Yeah. Trinidad, thank you so much.
Mm,
Would you guys share some of your stories of human rights violations? Have you been attacked whenever there have been attacks on Block 13? Have you gotten injured? Have you experienced any targeted attacks on you as in?
absolutely. I've ever been attacked,
Can we hear
and
stories from all of you?
almost all of us who have ever been attacked, and have ever been attacked whereby I was attacked and nails were drilled right through my left thigh. And I was taken to the hospital. In my left thigh, some transphobic people attacked me. They drilled nails through my left thigh. And I was rushed to the hospital. And I swear the doctor never worked because they got me in a dress. Someone said, no, these are curses from Uganda. They don't deserve to be here. and actually they are mad. That's the other letter I always talked about. Someone writing a report that I'm mad when actually hasn't worked on me because I'm a woman. He saw me in a dress and he's insisting that I'm a man, not a woman.
Trinidad, did you ever report that to the police?
I tried to report about it,
Mhm.
but I wasn't helped.
Did you tell the UNHCR about that?
Absolutely I did, but I never got any help from there. But instead, Victor, when I'm talking about the doctors, when I'm talking about the police, maybe I'm going low. Now let me go up. Even the camp manager, I remember him. We are once in a meeting, the assistant camp manager of this camp where we are. He clearly told me and stated that if you're a trans woman, actually, let me quote him. If you are a man in a dress, don't expect anything good from us. Don't expect any mercies because in Kenya we can't tolerate that bullshit. That's what he told us. Because he saw me in a dress, he saw my friends in dresses. So, how can the local community, these local people, understand me? Understand that I'm a woman, that I deserve to live, that I was created just like how I am. Because they can't. If someone enlightened like a camp manager can act in that way, you know.
That's ridiculous.
So
That's
it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Thank you,
Sure.
Trinidad. Can we hear from Claire? And
Yeah. Franca is right here.
yeah, hey Claire.
Well, Victor, how are you?
I'm good. Claire, how are you doing today?
As usual, I'm ever like that. I'm much stressed, and I cannot tell you that I'm happy. I cannot tell you that I feel good. Victor, first look at the place where I will stay. As you can see, this is the place where I will stay. Look at the houses, as you can see. These are the houses, like you see, it's like a field. It's like, how can I say? It's like we're animals sleeping or an open place where they even don't mind. Even if we die for them, they don't want to know. Yeah, Victor, we really suffer, and we really, as we transgenders, we cannot walk. We are not safe. Whereby even going to the nearest shop to get something from the shop, they cannot give it to you because of being a transgender and you are in a dress. And when you try to talk to those people who in charge of security, for them they say that they don't want to hear anything from us because they are, as Trinidad has said, that their law does not tolerate what we do. And here in Kenya they don't allow gays. When they say that we are to be arrested, in case if they get you or they arrest you, you are being arrested for 14 years. For 14 years. And one officer, I don't remember the name, he told me face to face that if I get a chance and maybe somewhere when we are together, I can shoot you and you die.
A police officer?
A police officer.
Hmm.
And that police officer is not a Kenyan. He's a Somali. He's a refugee too. But talking in Kenya that this is it's like he's now a Kenyan, I think. But are we really supposed to be like this? Are we really supposed to be in such a situation as we?
You shouldn't be in that place because there's no protection for you there, and the transphobia is so high.
Now, when I go on the other side of moving or low profile, they say that we should keep a low profile. Victor, it is impossible. It cannot be. It cannot. But because you cannot tell me that you should put on a shirt, a man shirt or a trouser, which I'm not used of. I cannot. Me putting on my makeup is what I want. And you say that if you want to move or if you're going somewhere, if you want to be in our community, have to put on a dress or a trouser or a shirt, and you're not supposed to dress like a lady. But which kind of situation are we living in here? And when we try to talk, they threaten us and they warn us that we are not supposed to tell the world that we do suffer here.
Mm. Were you around on June 19th when the attacks took place?
Yeah, I was around, but the good chance I ran, and I ran by saving my life, and I hid myself in a certain house with those who have our near people who try to help us. I hid myself there inside, but the next day they came threatening those people who are helping us
Oh yeah, I
that they are
know
going
that.
to be. Yeah, you
They,
know that.
yeah.
And
Oh,
I did not get any intel on that day,
yeah.
and I thank God for that. But I've been attacked several times. Like on tennis, I got as you can see here.
Yeah. All right.
This was a pan coming from. I was being escorted by my friends, and I was with Steve, and the Sudanese found us on the way, and they started beating us, and they cut me on, as you can see, as you've seen. And I myself, I entered reception, and when we were taken in the community, by the time we reached in the community, we were attacked, and we went back to seek for protection where we expected it from, because we thought that we will go back to the reception and it will allow us to enter inside. But once you go out from the reception, no going back inside. And we slept outside for 5 months, sleeping outside reception. Have you ever heard about that?
Mm.
We slept outside for 5 months. And when we saw our members, some of our members who were sleeping, who were located there in block 2, others are here where, because we had our members who were located where we are now, and we decided to go to the compound looking for security.
Mm.
And for them, what they did, they just tear gassed us and beat us and brought us back here. And when they looked at everyone in a dress, oh, they say that these people must die. They should die. They have to die. And they asked us that in Uganda you used to do such things. Yes. But because of the security, we had no security, and we decided to live there to seek for protection. But we thought that coming here it will be good, but still it is more worse than where we came from.
That's what I see. Uh, Claire, thank you for sharing that. You should stay around because I have some more questions for you. Is there anybody else there who wants to share their testimony?
Yes, I'm back.
Yes, please.
Yes, this is Lucretia once again.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm also in the camp at block 13.
Mhm.
But Victor, all I have to say is that all we need right now is a safe place. We all need a safe place to stay, Victor.
Mm.
Our brothers, our sisters down here are really dying.
Mm.
Victor, we are passing through a lot. Victor, we are passing through a lot. Victor, I personally have ever suffered a sexual abuse. I was forced to sleep with a girl, my fellow girl, who was a Sudanese in this very camp by the Sudanese. Victor, we have suffered a lot. We have suffered a lot. From the right day that we got into this bullshit, my God, we have never been safe at all. we've never been safe at all. All we're asking from UNHCR is to get us a safer place, is to come and evacuate us, because the only right thing to do right now, not collecting reports. This isn't that right time to collect the reports. This isn't the right time to do the integration they're talking about. This time is the high time to do the rescue of lives. Lives here are in a very, very high risk. Staying outside, sometimes I even wake up and start shouting, thinking that maybe we are attacked at that time. I start shouting and my partner tells me that, no, sweetheart, just come back to normal. Everything is normal.
Do you sleep outside? Sleep outside?
Yeah, Victor, we sleep outside. We have no shelters. We are sleeping outside in total, even though it rains. We have to stay outside till it gets to morning. Victor, the life here is totally miserable. We've seen hell in Kakuma. I and my sisters are really, I don't know. Down there, I know if there is any advocate, any human rights activist, especially for the trans people down here, you know what we are passing through, especially in such homophobic places, especially in such homophobic countries. The thing is real. We really need your help. We really need your help. I'm calling upon everyone. Everyone, come out, please. Please.
Thank you.
Victor, we've passed through a lot. Victor, we've passed through a lot. It's enough. What UNHCR has done is just enough for us. Please, let us go.
Yes.
This is our situation in Kakuma, and this is our situation. This is our sister, Pressure. We live in bad life, old trade, terrible life in Kakuma. That's our life as a transgender. I myself, on 26 July, I think that is my last day in Kakuma. There was an attack by Sudanese. I with my sister Diela, and my partner, we are moving to the town to bring back our phone. We had an attack with a Sudanese guy. The guy they're using following us. When we reached to the shop, yeah. Kati oluzungu nsumbuwamu kati we twatuuka
wali tabo waliwo asobola okuvunulirawo, osobola okuddamu kyaliwo nga biri mu
nga biri mukaaga. On 26 twali tugenda ne sister wange ne partner wange. She was going to the market with his partner and her friend. Twali tugenda kugyayo masimu gaffe lwaggulu saa zalinga 12 awo. It was around 6 sharp in the evening when she was escorted by those fellows of ours to remove their phones on charger. Kyennaku nali sambadde nga mukyala, nali ndi nafuna empala we yapatana wange n'angamba yambala ebimanyi eby'omu kampu. So unfortunately, she didn't wear like we as the ladies. She a man. Kati bwe twatuuka mu kasenta eno balina enjogera gye bagamba shoga we shoga we, kati nga ffe tutambula tunyumya mboozi yaffe tutuuka muka we tukyajingira amasimu. So as they were moving, people were following them, the Sudanese. They were normally saying that shoga means gay, lesbian, and other intersexual LGBTI. Kati we twatuuka omusajja Omusudani n'aggyayo ejjambiya, kati twali twayawukanyeemu, kati nze naye nyimiridde nzekka, abantu bye baleekaana nti ofa baleekanira waggulu, kati nze nga simanyi ngenza okukyuka nga kuta ejjambiya ayagala gintemera kudduka ne nnyingirawo mu ka restaurant we bantaasiza. So as they had gone there, Nina had separated with them. So Nina was on the phone charging system where the Sudanese, a certain Sudanese, removed a panga inside his pocket of his trouser, and he wanted to cut off his head. Just the people that helped him, he just ran to the nearest restaurant where he was helped to survive his life. Bwe bulamu nengezaako nempulira ekisaala ne bangamba bagenda ku poliisi ne ndipotinga omusango. So as you know, that's the life that we live in. As he tried to call UNHCR told them go to the police and report the case. Remember, all time UNHCR, wherever we call them, they just direct us to the police. As long as we reach to the police, they do diversion. Natuukayo bampa obi naye era omwenzi oyo era asigala atuwuninga, mujja kufa, mwe muli bashoga mulina okufa, ate entaka si lyammwe. Gamba obulamu bwe tutambuliramu tetusobola tambula tubeera waka nga twekwese bwekwesi, mu buyumba tetuvaamu obuliwo buno obuliwo, era ne bapatana baffe kabe ba brother baffe baluga nti mutambula nnyo n'okufuluma ebweru kizibu. That's the life we live in. Even if I went to the police, that Nina went to the police, he was given a certain document, which is an OB, but the normal people that the real person that usually attack us or they usually attacked him is, or most of the time is over passing here saying that we shall kill you any day and moment. So that's the life we are passing through here in Kakuma. Nenga Victor, tweyanza obuyambi bwo bwonna okuva nga tuli wano ku block 13 okutubeererawo. Victor, we really appreciate for whatever you are doing for us, the hope,
Okay.
the fun, and everything.
Nina.
Yeah.
Omusajja like the man who wanted to kill you still walking around in the camp, and he won.
Yeah.
But the police has done nothing about this.
Yes.
Viewers, you're here what the story is like in Kakuma, and this is the same police that is investigating now.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyone wants this? Luganda?
Ngenda kwogera Luganda.
Okay.
Mbalamusiza mwenna n'abali abatulaba. Saluting everyone out there that is watching. Kubanga nze Victor wontunuulyanga bwe nti kifaananyi nze nanninga musajja kwaba bannange goyinza okulaba nti alinga mukyalo kitegeera. When you look at her clearly, you can see that she's like a man, but she's a real girl. She's a real woman inside her. naye nsobola okwambala essaati kwa waliwo wano abasajja. Nze siri musajja ndi mukyala naye waliwo abasajja nga nsobola okwambala essaati ye ninteekamu n'empale ye kuba siina ngoye za kisajja.
She adds that there are men here that she can use their clothes to put on.
Naye nga tusobola okuba nga tutambula mu kkubo era n'olaba nga bakuyita musiyazi n'amayinja ne bagakkuba ab'emiggo ne bavaayo era ne babaddusa emisinde.
She argues that even though she puts on like a man, and she walks maybe to the way or to the market, she is still attacked, and someone can still recognize her that she is a gay or she's a trans, and she's still attacked though wearing like a lady or like a man.
Kwa waliwo olunaku lumu kumanya Kakuma yo egamba si kampu nze ngiyita komera.
She calls Kakuma not a camp but a prison as per now.
Olunaku lumu baatuddusa ne batuggyako twali tuva kugula byakulya nga twakayingira mu community muno naye batuddusa batuggyako ebyokulya ntugenda ku poliisi naye twatuukayo bwe tuti.
One day as they were from shopping some snacks, they were still attacked, and they were attacked badly, and plus the snacks they were stolen. But after they ran to the police to seek help.
Watwatuukayo abasirikale baatugamba kubanga obamanyi omunauganda obamanyi kimu nti musiyazi n'oba toli musiyazi bamanyi nti musiyazi. Omusirikale yatugamba nti singa Museveni yatuyamba n'abatta mwenna mutajja na wano.
That when they reached the police to complain or to report the case, the police recognized them as LGBTs, and immediately she quotes the policeman saying that if at all you didn't come here and you stayed there, and Museveni, the president of Uganda right now, had helped us to get all of you and kill you at once.
Era kyekituufu tuli mu kkomera fenga ffe.
And right now we are all here as LGBT in a total prison.
Kubanga ekisooka waliwo kalina ebirwadde bingi nnyo bye tulwalidde wano just kulaba ku musaayi. Omanyi okuba nga sitwamanyira kulaba misaayi naye n'otuka okulaba abantu nga babasalaasala kwiga ffe ffennyini nti tuteekamu ebirwadde bye tutakola bye tutajja nabyo.
Firstly, we have got, or we have attracted, or we have developed some diseases within Block 13, within this prison, and some of those diseases are just an effect of seeing these deadly attacks, seeing these deadly massacres that are happening on our bodies, blood shedding, all such things really cause us a very, very, very big or large number of diseases in our bodies right now.
Kubanga sikulimba nze waliwo ebiseera ebimu baba tuteeka wano kulimba olimba eri awo manju waffe naye ogenda n'otuuka n'olanga omuntu bamuziika n'ogaa nti eyi awummudde ebizibu kwegamba n'otunuulira kweganga gwe ebizibu by'olina nga ye ali bulungi gwe baziika kitegeera ate nga mu buntu obakyali badde nti nze omulamu nze naali badde obulungi naye ne weegomba afudde naye bagenda namuziika buziisa.
Sometimes we are right now at Block 13, we are near a cemetery, and most of the times when you see someone being buried at any moment, you just feel like, oh my God, I wish it was me who was dead. But for that dead person right now, he or she is now free from maybe problems, she's free from attacks, and I wish it was me who was dead right now, but since it's not me, she keeps on miserable and just worrying that I wish it was me that it was who was dead at this moment, just to escape all these attacks.
Naye nga nze neewuunya nnyo nze nga baffe twewuunya okitegeera olw'okuba nti twalumbirwa bulijjo tuze tuyina ze obi tugenze ku poliisi batugambye batugambye naye kisinga otwewuunyisa tibatulumba ne batukuba bajjayo amajambiya poliisi yennyini nejja n'ebirabako naye tubanga situddibwangamu. From the day that we were attacked on 19th with pangers, with sticks, with iron rods, till now the police hasn't made any investigation and we have never been helped till now, and we are all just miserable and just all worrying about that. We are just amazed about that. Ebyo ebigambo byange, ebigambo nina bingi nate wembyogera nnyo mba nsuubula okwegamba byebyo byokka byensuubudde okubagamba naye wabula mbeebaza byonna byonna bye mutukoledde. I have a lot on mind and I have a lot on my lips right now to say, especially to one watching here, but since like I can't express all my feelings right now to you here, I would just like to conclude from here and send you all my thanks. Amanyanzi just I remain just bye.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jasmine.
Yes, Jasmine. From Rwanda?
I'm from Uganda.
Oh, I thought you're the one who said you're from Rwanda. Jasmine.
No. I'm Jasmine from Uganda. Senga, the aunt for children.
And the cup. This famous children's aunt at the camp. So good to see you, Jasmine.
I'm happy too. Oh, it's a pity. It's really a pity. Can't express. I'm just. Both. I'm used in both.
Okay.
Uganda and English.
Okay, we need somebody near you to translate, to interpret what you're saying. Uganda.
I speak in Uganda. So I'm saying I use English most.
Okay, please use English then.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a pity for our lives as we transgenders here in Kakuma. Whenever I think of whatever is happening, whatever is taking place in this place, like on our lives, my daughters, my sons, my husband, I feel so bad because I've done a lot in counseling my daughters. I've done a lot, Victor. This is too much in that to an extent you feel yourself to reach to ask God to kill you because it is too much in Kakuma, for sure. It's too much. Victor, I can't express that I'm so happy in my heart, but I'm so sad for you and Sierra to just leave us in an open place where we sleep. When it rains, oh my God, it is like we are like cows in the. You understand?
Yeah.
Life is hard. Life is hard, Victor. Though I'm doing my best to help these girls of mine, these daughters of mine, to become encouraged. But most of the time, after encouraging them, I go down on my round bed like this. I start crying. Tears flowing. Victor, thanks for whatever you are doing for us, but it's really pity.
Claire, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Coming back, my name is Murinda, but I'm going to speak Kiswahili.
Yes, friend.
Because I have translator.
Okay.
Yeah, she's called Linda, and she's from Rwanda. For her, she uses Swahili. Yeah.
Victor, kusema kweli kuna shida kubwa sana hapa Block 13.
Victor, to say the truth, we are really suffering here at Block 13.
Siwezi nikaongea vitu vingi sana kwa sababu vitu tu shida tuko nazo ni mingi, but nitaongea kidogo.
She cannot talk too much because of the situations and the problems we have here are many, and she's going to talk some few words because she's traumatized.
Nisema kila siku tunalia UNHCR, tunapigwa, hakuna mahali tunaenda kustaki polisi tusaidiwe. Tunaongea kila siku lakini hatuone mabadiliko.
We've been attacked. For them, instead of helping us, they just tell us to go and chase us from there, and nothing can change. And when we try to talk to NHSL, it says the same, and they say that we are still investigating.
Tuko Block 13, kati tuko na vitu tunategemea. Unaweza kwenda kwa duka kutafuta mafuta ya kujipaka, unaweza kwenda kwa duka kutafuta sabuni ama kitu chengine, but mahali tuko ni kama tuko prison.
She's saying that at the place where we stay is she's somehow wondering, because even going to the shop buying something like buying Vaseline or something to put on her body, and when they see her, they just say that you are a gay or a lesbian or a transgender. They tell us different names, and they cannot abuse only you. When they try to see you, they abuse you all the names, because for them they cannot differentiate that this one is a gay, this one they use one name, and that's the big problem we have here.
Mimi kwa upande yangu Kakuma tuko na kambi mbili, nimetoroka kutoka Karubayeli, walikuwa wanataka kuniua.
For her, she was taken to Kalboye. They wanted to give her a resettlement. We have different camp positions here at Kakuma, and the second one is called Kalboye, and she was taken there, and they forced her to go there, and reaching there, she was about to lose her life because they wanted to kill her.
Nimetafutwa na Wasomali, Wasudanese.
She has been being searched by everyone, Sudanese and the Somalis, because they wanted to kill her.
Kila siku na ripoti UNHCR police, lakini hakuna kitu walinisaidia, nikaamua kutoroka.
Every day she has been reporting to UNHCR, sending emails, calling them, but nothing has been changing or has changed.
Wakati mwingine hata nikishikwa na ugonjwa sipate mtu wa kunisaidia, nikaona angalau nikuje Block 13 nikae na wenzangu mahali tunaweza kushikana, nikigonjeka wala nikipigwa tuone vile tutasaidiana, wanipeleke hospitali ama waokoe maisha yangu.
And when she saw that she has nothing, she has no help, so she decided to come at Block 13, where she can get some help from her friends or from her sisters, because she has been there with nothing.
Tunalala nje,
we sleep outside,
tunanyeshewa na mvua.
When it rains, we all get
maji kuoga nini, tunaishi nje kama machokora.
We sleep outside, we have nothing, we are being discriminated everywhere. Even fetching water, it is difficult, because when we go there, they usually beat us and chase us from there.
Last week nimeshikwa na malaria typhoid kwa sababu ya kulala nje.
Last week she was affected with malaria because of sleeping outside.
na mahali tunaishi nyumba ziko ni zenye zimebomolewa kama 3. Kuingia kwa ile nyumba tunajazana, kuna mahali pa kuingia, nikakosa mahali ya kuingia kwa hizo manyumba na mvua ilikuwa inanyesha.
It was raining that day last week, and we have only a few houses, so she had nowhere to run. Even entering the house, we are many inside. You cannot fix yourself there because even others people were sleeping, and so she decided to remain outside in the rain, and she got malaria, and she took her to the hospital, and she was treated, but because of sleeping outside, she's still sick.
Kuna mtu amenisaidia akaniambia, utakuwa kwa sababu mvua inanyesha na mnalala nje, utakuwa unakuja kulala hapa block 10, unalala usiku, sikulale kwa baridi, ukipona utarudi kulala hapo nje. But nimevamiwa hapo na wa Sudanese mwendo wa usiku, wakasema shoga, nyumba yake yote wakabomoa kabisa, geti yote wakabomoa na mabati yote wakatoa. Nikakimbia police station, nikawaelezea shida yangu, wakaniambia toka hapa, hatuwezi tukakusupport, hakuna wapi nilipewa, hata si kulala hapo. Nikakuja hiyo usiku, nikarudi hapa block 13.
She had a friend somewhere near, and she went there to sleep for some days, but suddenly there was a friend of her, she was attacked by the Sudanese, and they started beating her friend, and they told her that you're the one keeping these people here. And for her, when she saw that, she ran to the police, and she wanted to seek for help, but again reaching there, police officer chased her from there, and they said that we don't have your help, so you have to go back where you came from. And what she did, she decided to come at block 13 where she is now.
Kwa sababu wanauliza ati wewe ni mwanamke ama wewe ni mwanaume, tukikuvua nguo tutakuta wewe uko na pati ya wanawake. Kwa nini unakuja kutuumiza kutupatia kazi ngumu? Uko na pati ya wanawake ama wewe ni mwanaume? Kwa nini wewe unakaa kama mwanamke na tunajua kuna pati ya wanawake? Unakuta wanakutusia, hawezi kukusaidia, wanakufukuza unaenda.
She got some people who were asking her that, are you a woman or a man? Are you a boy or a girl? And she told them that I'm a girl. And they told her that we are going to undress you. And if we find that you are a boy, we are going to kill you. Stop your stupidity in this camp. We don't want what you're doing. You're spoiling our kids, and we are not supposed to be on our land.
Mr. Vigita, nimerudi hapa, nikaenda na mgonjwa nikapona. But yule mtu pia alikuwa amenisaidia kulala kwake, akaanza kuniambia kujenge ile mlango, usipojenga na mimi nitakufuatilia, nitakustaji. Na wale wa Sudanese bado walikuwa wanajaribu kunitafuta, wanasema sijaribu kwenda market, sijaribu kwenda wapi, mimi nakaa hapo, siwezi nikaenda mahali popote.
And the other one who she was sleeping or she was staying with, and they told she has been asking for her to go and rebuild the house because it was put down by the Sudanese. And she told her, if you don't put my door again, I want my door to stand again, and I'm going to also start beating you, just because she turned against her. And because she feared to go back, because the Sudanese are searching for her, that's why she ran and came here. Yeah, that's
Wednesday nikaenda nikatengeneza hiyo mlango, after finish nikarudi block 13. Yesterday nikaenda market Sudanese hapa karibu kununua earrings. Fika hapo ilikuwa mwendo wa saa 12:30, nikanunua earrings. Kurudi block 13 nikakuta Sudanese karibu 6 wamesimama karibu na distribution, wakaanza kuita shoga mwanamke kuja hapa.
There's a name they use, it is a Swahili name called shoga, meaning that gay. On Wednesday last week, she was coming from buying her earrings, and she found a group of people those Sudanese, and they started calling her this week, yesterday, yesterday, and they started chasing her, calling her different names, and she got scared and she ran as dialect to here, and she lost all her things which she bought yesterday, and because of the fear she decided to run, and she reached here and we saved her.
Nimejaribu kukimbia lakini wakanishika, nimepigwa rungu 3, niko na injury kwa mkono, lakini nikajaribu kuokoa maisha yangu vile nimejaribu kutuma record asubuhi ya kuja, bado saa hii mwili yangu sio sawa. Kwa hivyo Mr. Victor, tunapigwa, tunaonewa sana, tunadhulumiwa na hatuna mahali pa kuelezea shida zetu. Kutoka chini.
Victor, she says that we are being beaten, we are being attacked every day, several days, but we have nowhere to report. We have nowhere to run. We have nowhere to get security. At the only place here at Block 13 is the only place where we stay and where we safeguard ourselves, because we have some boys who protect us from those people, and we do really need help from you.
Mr. Victor, sina mengi ya kuongea kwa sababu tuko na shida mingi sana kama transgender. Sasa for example, ukishikwa na ugonjwa kuelekea clinic 7, kama huna mtu wa kusindikiza, hata wanaweza dungwa shindano ya maji, kwa sababu wote wanasema angalia mwanaume amejifanya mwanamke, na madaktari hata kusaidiwa ni shida, hatuna mali pa kuelekea. Kusema ukweli, maisha yetu iko hatarini. Kwa hivyo shida tuko nazo ni mingi sana, tuko na shida mingi sana, wengi tumeoza kwa roho kwa sababu ya kudhulumiwa. Mr. Victor, tuko vibaya sana. Hizo ndio shida kidogo naweza nikaongea kwa sababu mingi tumeoza kwa roho. Asante sana. Na nimekushukuru sana kwa usaidizi, unatusaidia kila siku.
She'll say that she really appreciates your work, and she said that she had been sick and she went to Clinic 7 to seek for medical help. For them, they just looked at her because she was wearing a dress, and she had some people who escorted her, but they ignored her and they just started looking at her and say that, look at those stupid people, we are not going to work on them, let them go back. And she said that lastly, she ended up by saying that, thank you for everything you do, and you're the only person left who can push our voice and all the people to understand what we are really facing here.
Okay, thank you. God bless you.
And my Randy's queen, princess, I want you to let her know that when I come here on the live, I represent a number of people. It's just that I cannot bring all of them to sit with me here on the live, but we have a lot of people. It's just not Victor. When you see Victor, just know there's an army standing with you. They are people that are with me to stand with you, that are supporting you.
Yeah.
And I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's because of them that I can stand. Human rights activists, owners, doctors, and therapists.
Victor, before you go.
That will be the last one for now, because
Before you go, some minutes.
Yes, please.
I understand. You've got a challenge. We have a challenge here, and we know you could be having the same challenges there. You know, there are some activists who are taking our vulnerability for their own gains. And we call upon everyone, all activists, all well-wishers, everyone who wish to stand with the Block 13 people, with the transgenders in Block 13, with gays, lesbians, everyone here. Just know the only person we're trusting now, the only person who is rightfully advocating for us and helping us and providing for us, it's Victor Mukasa. We don't want anyone to take our vulnerability, to deprive us and use our vulnerability for their own gains. Because very many of us, we have been attacked, we have ever been some of the police because of some particular activists, the so-called activists who call themselves activists, yet they are not here to advocate for our safe being. Everyone on this life, and whoever can see it, this is the right channel. Look for Victor Mukasa. You straight away you'll be at Block 13. That's all I can say, Victor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, group, all the women, all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
Victor,
yes.
Victor, lastly, I want to first thank you for everything. And you remember what you sent us, Victor. We're really happy for that, I know. And I first want to thank you and Georgina Rose about the GoFund page, which is here for the ladies here in Kakuma, because we've been, how can I say, I'm happy, I'm really happy for that. And on the other side of food, let me talk about food, Victor. Here in Kakuma, we get food and we have food, medication here in Block 13. And we are really happy about food, things which you do for us. We get food. We do not need food from anyone, but from you, from your people, because you're the only people, you're the only person here who is helping us with food, apart from you and HSL, but you're the one. And there are some people who say that they are helping us with food, and some people who write to some people that they are asking for food. We do really get food and medication, and we are happy for that. And we thank for you for our GoFund page moving. I know people are there seeing it, and I think will be good for us, because we've been looking for makeups, and we've been looking for something to put on, like as you see our sisters now, they have some dresses, they have some, you see, at least we look good. Yeah, as you can see, at least we look good now.
I think that what we need to know, Claire, could you please put the trans women's GoFundMe page in the comment section for me?
Yeah.
Please,
yeah.
Please get the link and drop it in the comment section.
Okay.
GoFundMe page, and I'm gonna talk shortly. Thank you so much for showing up. And whenever you need a space to speak to people, I have given for all of you on Block 13. Oh, for refugees.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, and we appreciate everything you do. And as you can see,
and I love
you. We really love you, and we love you.
And you are wonderful people, and you're very intelligent, and you know that you can speak for yourselves. I love you all.
I love you.
All right. Those are our trans sisters, trans women on Block 13 in Kakuma Camp. These trans women actually asked another activist, Georgine from California, Georgie, to start up a GoFundMe page for them, which I support, because the GoFundMe page that we have, that most of you are contributing to, is for communal support at Block 13. It is providing for food, it's providing for medical care, it is providing for first aid, it is providing for blankets for the children, specific groups of people that need that there's some kind of support that comes generally for everybody, because as you know, some people might be able to get food, ask somebody for money for food, but others do not have a chance to do that. So we've decided to give them what they can use as a community. And so we are able to cover food, we are able to cover sanitation, we are able to cover, in fact, we are getting new latrines. We are able to, oh God, who is this trying to call me now? We are able to get a lot of things on board. However, the trans women have specific needs. I know that all of us have a specific need here and there, but the trans women have very, very specific needs that need to be taken care of. There's a lot of gender dysphoria at the camp, that on top of everything that is happening, they are suffering gender dysphoria. And there are certain things that they can use as first aid to calm that down in terms of how they present themselves and how they look. So we've started this other GoFundMe page run by Georgine Ross. If you can all follow her, whatever you have, you can drop it there. It is little money that they are looking for, just to ensure that they take care, they can pass sometimes, because this is what the biggest problem is. If you can, please be there for those trans women and put your change on their GoFundMe page that is specific to trans women on Block 13. Now, the other big page, GoFundMe for everybody at Block 13, still exists, and still we encourage you to contribute to it. But please look for Georgine Ross here in the comments sections. Follow Georgine Ross and help the trans women out. And if you ever want to reach out to these trans women, please let us know. We know how to reach them direct in the camp. And to the UNHCR, if you ever want to speak to people on Block 13 in Kakuma camp who you took there, we are able also to help facilitate that connection so that you can speak to them virtually. It is so easy. I thank you very much, Kakuma camp. I thank you. I thank you, Gilbert. I thank you, the trans women. Thank you so much, and a special shout out to Joan, the nurse, the lead nurse on Block 13, is actually sick and admitted in hospital. Prayers and strength to her, woe to her, and thank you to all those who are taking care of her. Our nurse on Block 13 is admitted in hospital. Yes, Purity, if we can have you right now. Yes, Purity, how are you doing?
Hi, my brother. How are you?
I'm very okay. A little. I'm here, and it's good to have you on today's.
Oh,
Hello?
yeah. My network is not very good. I have issues with my network, but then
Kakuma has a
could
better
you hear me? Yeah, it has a better network than I do. Let me
just a second.
open the window.
Just a second. On.
Yeah, so
hold on. Just stay online, Purity. Do you want to say hi to?
Okay.
All right, Joan is here, and Joan would like to say hi to all of you. This is our nurse in Kakuma. That's our nurse, Joan, and she has been admitted at Kakuma Mission Hospital today with high blood, everything you can imagine that they're going through. We're sorry, Joan, and we send this. Yes, your girls. Your girls have been live today, and I'm glad that you saw them. You watched. They telling me that you're not well. So let us finish up here. I would like to call you again and doing. But thank you for everything you're doing at the Block 13. Okay. All right, that is our lead nurse at Block 13, who has also been threatened for helping others and of numbing them so that they can cut themselves without pain. That is John. Please send her your strength because Block 13 needs her, and we need her alive also for her own good.
Yeah.
All right, Purity. Good to see you again. Let's continue. You've had everything. You've had from Gilbert giving the general updates, and there's some of whom are perpetrators, some of whom threatened them last week, and this week are investigating June 19th. Investigations have started, and also you've heard from the trans women at the camp, some of your sisters and children. And the mic is yours with whatever you have for us today.
I've watched everything. Finally, I was very patient.
That's good.
With you know, I wanted to get all the updates because I haven't talked to them for a while now. The people in Kakuma. But then I would love to tell them, most of the transgender girls, that it is not easy to be a transgender refugee. It's not easy. It will never be even easy. It starts from where you are to where you are going to. People will blackmail you, people will say so much, but the message I give the girls, because I'm proud of them, because they are my children anyways, is that do not give up. Being transgender means that you have to start a new journey altogether in a very cruel world. It's very cruel. Very cruel, where you are told so many other things, and then you end up not getting what people are telling you, because I mean, like, I got evicted just a few days ago. I remember you helped me in that.
2 days.
So I'm telling them to just choose themselves. And we are very grieved that we still have LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma camp. It's worrying, honestly. But I would love to say this. One, look out for each other and be with each other. There are wrong elements in our community. As in, like, you will hear so many other voices, but then I'm now talking to the trans girls first, but then listen to yourself and make sure that yourself means that you are choosing yourself. And choosing yourself is hard. If somebody tells you go to the pharmacy and you don't have to wear your makeup, don't wear it. But understand that those are transforms. I mean, by the time I was coming to this place, I was told so many things. You know, when, say, somebody is checking your details, say that security, but then they look at security. And like, okay, who are you? I know they know what I mean. Choose yourself. Go there as you are. Don't wear makeup, don't wear nothing, but still understand that still it won't get worse or better. You know, from a scale of 100, that is like maybe 10%, and that's it. That's
And
it.
also, before you get off that
Um,
point, I think that you might want to set up call sessions to the camp to give them more of these tips. I think it might be better if you call them at the camp and talk to them about. Oh, it's raining here. About some of the things that you're talking about now, because I think that we cannot exhaust it here. Mm.
yes, thank you very much. And I will, because I've talked to them, and I would love to tell them that I feel so sad. There are so many elements in our community. It is a dynamic community. There is a lot that happens. But then again, we have choose us. Choosing yourself is hard. I chose myself and I pay the price. I'm paying it. Choosing yourself is not easy. That's why they left their countries and they end up in Kakuma camp. I would love to tell them to understand that there are people around them who are not wishing them well. They would love even so much to happen to them. Please don't allow them, you know, because that is a camp. Kakuma camp is a camp. And it is a camp not only for LGBTQ, and we have Block 13 and all that, but then it is a camp that is meant for all the refugees. Please do not allow any other kind of refugee penetrate your community. Because if they penetrate your community, then that means that somebody will have to use it against you. Be like, okay, because we have like refugees who are, say, they are political refugees, and then they camouflage, or they are being used
As coaches. So, but Purity, because of the audience that we are having right now, and because you are able to reach the refugees with this kind of counsel, I think that I would request that you say something about the updates that we have generally about the camp, and if there's any advice that you're giving in terms of advocacy. And then afterwards, you can make a call to the trans community at the camp and give them that. Because people have been here for about 2 hours and we need to wind up this
I've been
show.
here for actually for 2 hours as well.
Yes, but you can actually cancel these people on a video call.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what I'm telling them is that they should just be a community of Block 13, say, so that nobody tells them I am this, I am that. At this point, it is very important. Why? Because all refugees are angry, and then they see what we do, and they're not happy that probably maybe somebody chips in. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? And so allowing another individual outside there, say somebody who came on a political case, yeah, they will use that chance to actually do anything. And as they do everything, whoever has to help you, say now like UNHCR, will be like, okay, this one came on a political, political case. But then now they're the ones, making noise.
Okay.
And I'm telling my people with strong emphasis,
Purity?
please.
Hey, Purity, you have very important information. And I request you to advise the trans women via a video call so that we do the call to action here and go and keep working on behalf of everybody on Block 13. We need to end the show, but the information you have is very important for those trans women. Please call them up and give it to them in depth, or we can do another show tomorrow and you give this information, because we need to make the call to action and end the program.
Yeah, so I can summarize now. So I would love to tell my community that we care. We do care, and that's it. There is nothing sugarcoating anything apart from caring for a community that is actually in their situation. We care, but there are so many voices, and we don't need to listen to so many voices. We need to listen to us. And then we do not need to listen to anybody else apart from us. Be who you are and be very calculative, because there are so many other voices coming in all the time. Say people who came on their own other agendas, and then they have their other agendas and stuff, and they are being used to use you. So somebody came on a political ticket, and by the way, that is also okay. But then be creative, and then don't listen to everything everybody tells you. Listen to you, because if you don't listen to you, you will end up being generalized. And I'm telling you,
Purity,
there is going to be.
I need to collect us. I need to collect us here. There are people 138 plus on Block 13 who are under attack. And at this point, we do not care how they came to Nairobi, to the camp.
No, I didn't say that. What I mean is
the campaign we are leading here is to save lives on Block 13. And I'm asking you to focus on the call to action. The advice that you have, I love it. We can do another live show tomorrow, or you can call the refugees and advise them to be careful with each other, But I would really request you to focus right now, because we've been here for 2 hours, on the general call to action. What do we want people to do? What are you doing in Nairobi for Block 13 who are under attack? What can we do? Like, is there a message you have for the people listening to us about how we can solve this problem? And then after this show, you can call the refugees and advise them, because you have very good advice, or we can make another show tomorrow and we talk to the refugees about how to carry themselves.
Yeah, sure. And thank you very much, my brother. So I'm telling the entire world, please understand that LGBTQ refugees in Block 13 are under attack. They need help. They need an evacuation. They need to get out of there. And I'm telling them to understand the fact that being an LGBTQ refugee takes a lot.
Purity? Well, thank you very much, everybody. You have seen what has happened on this show. Purity, your network was not very clear towards the end, but I thank Gilbert for the updates you gave us at the start of the show almost 2 hours ago. I thank trans women in Kakuma camp for speaking out today, and I thank you all for showing up. I would like to just round up by saying on this show we got updates that finally the police in Kakuma has started investigations starting the 3rd of August. And I would like to take you back. These attacks that they're investigating happened on June 18th and 19th. The police actually came in at the camp and took some of these people to the hospital. The police has been aware of this. More cases have been reported to the police since then. The police, about a week and a half ago, summoned leaders of Block 13 and threatened them. For some, they even made false allegations that they are injecting members of Block 13 and numbing them so that they can cut themselves, so that they don't feel pain when they actually harm themselves, which was not true. This same police has summoned them, but we've been told that, reliably told, that they have been asked by the UNHCR to do this investigation. So finally, there is an investigation going on. The question is that I had on the show was, how safe are they, and how sure are we that this is going the right way? Because some of the perpetrators are actually the ones that are investigating this situation. Then some of those who have threatened them to threaten to throw them in jail are the ones investigating this situation. Some of them who have sexually assaulted them are the ones investigating this situation. Those who have asked them to have sex with each other for entertainment of the police are the ones investigating them. We'll need to keep those facts in our heads as this investigation goes on. UNHCR, if this is in good spirit, we thank you for what you're doing. But we are saying these refugees are still under attack and they are not safe. So as you do investigations, these refugees are thrown back in the same camp. We have had them on this show saying they see their perpetrators walking around. They come back, their attackers, and threaten them. You know, they're still threatening them. And yet the refugees, the victims, are being questioned. So why are they being thrown back? It's not safe at all. Where they're being thrown back is still being thrown back to their attackers to be eaten up, in quotes. And we are still requesting that you evacuate these people to safety. And then while they are safe, you can investigate all you want. You can take all the statements. You can do whatever you want at that point. But they are not safe in Kakuma camp. We know that COVID-19 is happening, but we also know that there's people that have emergencies in the area of Kakuma that are moving to Nairobi when they need to. There can be a way of getting people out of that camp. Please, we request that you work with the other officials, the RAS, and provide movement passes, which is your blessing for these individuals to leave the camp. This can no longer be an issue of money. The issue here is that they do not have the authority, they do not have the permission to leave the camp. There are many who could have left a long time ago for their safety, but they will not reach Nairobi if they do not have the blessing of the UNHCR and RAS. I think that is being direct with what we need. Please give them your blessing, get them out of the camp. If you're not able to take them to safety, at least give them permission to go to safety. But we thank you for all initiatives that are taking place right now, and we request you to make fast those efforts to save LGBTQ refugees who are constantly under attack, whom we have even taken to hospital today for various ailments that should be taken care of by the UNHCR with dignity. I thank you all. I'll leave you this song if my computer is still on. And if any of you want those reports that I mentioned earlier, medical reports and the compilation of human rights violations, please reach out to me via Facebook inbox. Leave me your email address and I'll send it to you for your advocacy purposes. And if there are any therapists out there that would like to join the first responders team, please, you're most welcome. Please reach out to me. At this point, we are also looking for trans-specific therapists, therapists that can actually deal with transgender issues in particular. We have some needs with, gender dysphoria and other physical, problems with transgender people. So if there's anybody who can help us, please join our team of first responders. And there is a letter going around from our friends from the United Kingdom, a letter that they are sending to the High Commissioner, Kenyan High Commissioner in the UK. It's also on my Facebook page. Please kindly leave your name if you're in the UK, reside in the UK, a UK citizen. Leave your name on my page under that post as your signature on that letter, if you're willing. If you're from the UK and a UK resident, please kindly sign that letter. Our colleague Ash, I've forgotten the other name, an activist from the UK, has generated this letter for the High Commissioner, in the UK, and we will be doing the same for High Commissioners elsewhere in the world. For now, we are going to end this show, and I thank you all for being present. I'll leave you LGBTI anthem. I'm going to show you 1,000. And we'll be here again. I think that Purity might want to be back tomorrow with the sign-up process. More info.
Hey, if you give me just 30 seconds, I'm going to show you thousands of people just like you
we will end the show
their entire toolbox
with yet this anthem.
Hi guys, this is me.
I'm so sorry about that. We'll just end this. Thank you very much.